Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to explain the projection of points covering both the theory part and the AutoCAD drawing. First, we will understand the basic concept and the types of projections, and then we will move on to how to draw them practically in AutoCAD. By the end of this video, you will have a clear idea of both the concept and the procedure for drawing projection of points. So this is a ND but exercise problem. First of all, what is the problem? Point A in the horizontal plane and 20 mm behind the vertical plane. So this is the first problem. For this, I am going to use 4 quadrants. Yeah. So point A in the horizontal plane. Here, this is first quadrant, and this is second quadrant, and this is third quadrant, and this is fourth quadrant. If you observe these quadrants in this view, you will see these two red lines are perpendicular to each other like this. Okay, and here also this is first quadrant and this is first quadrant. Observer observes the object here. Observer observes the object from this side in front of the vertical plane. So here the observer observes in this direction. This is the observer's direction here, in this direction. Okay, so the first fundamental terms is, if the object is in first quadrant, we will represent as above horizontal plane. Above means like this, like this, like this, above, and in front of vertical plane, in front of vertical plane. So in front of vertical plane means like this, like this, that is in front of vertical plane. If object is in second quadrant, again above horizontal plane, and this is vertical plane. Here the observer is there. This is back side of vertical plane, or we will call it as another term, behind vertical plane, behind vertical plane. For that, I am going to represent this is behind or back side vertical plane. So back side, and above horizontal plane is again similar. Above, this is above horizontal plane, in this above horizontal plane, that is second quadrant. Come to third quadrant, below horizontal plane and behind vertical plane, and behind vertical plane. So behind vertical plane we will represent like this, and below horizontal plane we will represent like this, below. Coming to fourth quadrant, below horizontal plane and in front of vertical plane. So again, below horizontal plane, in front of vertical plane. If you observe here, this is in front of, this is above horizontal plane. Okay, here behind vertical plane, this is above horizontal plane. Here below horizontal plane, behind vertical plane. Here below horizontal plane, in front of vertical plane. You can place based on this conditions. These two planes are called reference planes. These two planes are called reference planes or principal planes, sometimes called principal planes. So we have another plane, that is profile plane. Suppose this is a vertical plane and this is horizontal plane. If you want to go with profile plane in this to get the side views, so these three planes are called principal planes. Principal planes. Okay. So based on the conditions given in the problem, we will draw the projections. Okay. So before going to draw the projections, you must remember some important points. Okay. I will tell you what are the important points. These are the first fundamentals. See, always the name of the point, either capital A to Z, or you will name it as 1 2 3. Okay. In front view we will represent the points with A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash. If the point is A, you will represent with A dash. If point is B, you will represent with B dash, like that. In top view you will represent it by using the lowercase letters, small a, small b, small c, small d. Here in, if it is in numeric, no need to worry. Okay. In side view we will represent by using A double dash, B double dash, C double dash, like that, etc. If this is very important point, if the point on horizontal plane means lying on horizontal plane, always the front view is on the reference line. Okay. If point is on vertical plane, so the top view always lies on the reference line. Okay. What is reference line? Here this is the reference line. If you observe, this is the reference line. This is represented as x and y. Okay. I will explain you. See, next one is the rotation of plane. So to see the top view, to observe the top view, always the plane is rotated 90 degrees clockwise. Okay. Here the plane is like this. This is horizontal plane. If observer stands here, so to see the view, the top view is placed on the horizontal plane. To see the top view, so the plane is rotated 90 degrees clockwise. So that means the plane will move like this. So the point is also moves from this point to this point. Okay, this is your reference line, y and x. Okay, I will explain step by step clearly. Okay. So now what is the first point here? Point A in the horizontal plane and 20 mm behind the vertical plane. So first I am going to take point A. So this is my point A in the horizontal plane, and 20 mm behind the vertical plane. So in the horizontal plane, first read the problem. In the horizontal plane, so that means on this horizontal plane the point is situated. So for that I am going to locate that point A either in front of or behind. See, in the problem it is behind the vertical plane. How much the distance? 20 mm. So 20 mm from this plane, 20 mm. So the point is situated somewhere is here. So this is the point and represented as a capital A. Okay. If observer always observes the object here. Okay. So the eye rays traveled through this plane and projected on the plane. So the observer observes the point like here. So what happened? The front view of this point A, the front view of this point A, I already told you, if the point is lying on horizontal plane, always the front view is on vertical plane. So here the front view is observed, that is A dash. If you observe the top view, if you observe the top view, the top view is located here only at this point, but you will not able to see this top view. So for that, always horizontal plane rotates 90 degrees clockwise. 90 degrees clockwise. So whenever this plane is tilted 90 degrees to clockwise direction, this point will move to come here. That is point A. You can draw a projector like this. Okay. If you same explanation, so this line is represents, I already told you, this line is x and y. So here the point x and y, because we are observing from this side, this red color lines. So point is here behind the vertical plane, and what is this distance? This distance is 20 mm. So that from this vertical plane we have to maintain 20 mm distance, and the point is here. That is capital A. In top view is from represented by small a. So observer stands here. If observes the object, observes the point, the front view is on reference line. So this is A dash, this is A. Okay, so always horizontal plane rotates 90 degrees clockwise direction, so that this point A moves to here. So this is the projection. So in AutoCAD, first you will draw your reference line x, y. Okay, and you will draw your point like this. This point is just highlighted. This is A and this is A dash, and you will represent the dimension also. How much the dimension it is? 20 mm. You will represent this is vertical plane and this is horizontal plane. In this way you will draw on your conventional drawing sheet. In AutoCAD I will explain you how to draw this point. Okay, now I am going to AutoCAD. So before going to start the drawing, first check the units, millimeters. Okay, next stop the grid, grid OFF off, enter. Now you can create layers. So for that I am going to create layers, uh, new layer. This is for points. Okay, this is for points. You can give any color to that point. You can give any color to that point. Now new layer. This is for dimension. You just default you can leave it dimension. Next new layer, projections, projection lines or something. You will create a white color. Okay, click. So this is the way you have to create layers. First draw the projections. Now I am going to draw a straight line with a distance of 200 mm. Okay, now I am going to divide this line into 8 equal parts. So by using the divide command, select this line, enter, 8 equal parts, enter. If you want to check that points P type, select this point, give 3 mm, click OK. So these are the divisions. Now here I am going to draw our first problem, the point A. So for that I am going to use the command O offset 20 mm above. So for this one to this one. Okay, I am going to draw a line from this point to this point. So that I don't want this line, I just remove it using the do not command. Do not, enter, specified inside diameter 0, enter, outside diameter 1. Select this center point, you will get the donut like this. Okay, you will get the donuts like this. So that is for point representation. Here you have to remove that point and again donut, enter, select. Okay, now you place the text using the text command. Text, enter, yeah, first point, enter 2.5, enter 0. Capital X 1, capital Y, capital X, capital Y, A, small A dash, like that. Escape. If you want to remove it, move this one, move this one to here, move A, point A to here, move point A dash to here. This is the way you have to represent it. And if you want to create another layer for text also, you can create another layer to represent the text also. CO, copy of this text here, ED, this is a vertical plane, E dot P, and we want to copy this CO, just you can place here ED, horizontal plane. Okay, place the dimension. Before going to that, D, enter, modify, go to lines, first select color 9, click OK, baseline spacing 1, select color 8, OK, here extend beyond pixel 1, offset from origin 1, symbols and arrows, closed fill, arrow says 2.5, mark, you don't want to change. Text, if you want to create any new style, you will create a style, otherwise you will place same. Text height 2.5, vertical above, horizontal centered, here 1 aligned with the dimension line. In this always keep text between extension line, scale is 1, primary units, you need not to change it, click OK, set current, close. So dim linear, select this one, this point to, see carefully you will select two centers, give 10 mm distance or 8 mm distance. See, this is the first problem. So now I am going to explain the second point. Just I am going to write 40 mm above horizontal plane, 20 mm in front of vertical plane. So this indicates means above horizontal plane and in front of vertical plane. So the point is in first quadrant, first thing. So the point name is capital B. So this is point B. Say this is point B. So observer stands here and observes the object like this. Observe the point like this. So the high rays passing through this point and projected on the vertical plane. So this is the point. If the top view is projected on the horizontal plane, the top view is projected on the horizontal plane, that is denoted as small b. Okay, that is denoted as small b. Okay, so this distance, I am using another pen. This distance is 40 above horizontal plane, and this distance in front of vertical plane is 20 mm in front of. Okay, so observer stands here in this direction. To see this B, always the horizontal plane. To see the top view of any point, to rotate this plane 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, so that what happened, this point B comes to here, so that is your small b on the same line, this is your point B. So if you draw here, so the point B is here, capital B. If you observe, the observer stands here. If you observe the point, this is your point B dash. If from the top view, it is on this horizontal plane, small b. I already told you, always plane rotates 90 degrees clockwise. So what happened? This point will move to here. This is your B. So in AutoCAD, you will draw, see, first draw XY line. We have already constructed that XY line. You just draw your point B dash with a height of 40 and B, that is the in front of distance 20. So vertical plane and horizontal plane. Now I am going to draw in AutoCAD. Okay, so for that again I am going to use the offset command, enter 20, so below, and I am going to use the offset command again above 40. So this is above 40. Now I am going to draw a line like this. Okay, if you want to extend this line, you can remove this point and this point. Okay, so now again using the do not command, enter, select here and here. Okay, now copy this text here and here, edit. So this is B, small b. Okay, and this is small b dash, and again you will give dimensions, dim, linear, enter, select the do not center point, and here this is the center point. Now you will get exactly the dimension. Here also using the same command, select the center point or else end off, then you will get only end. You can select this one. Okay, so this is the second point. If you want to verify the dimensions between any point, again dim, linear, select this point and this point, that is the distance 25 mm. You will place here so that you can adjust your point B to here, point B to adjust here. So now I want to remove this point and copy this B to here, edit this text, ed, taken as O, small o, because this is the reference line. Always the two projector lines meet at a point O. Okay, next one, point C in the vertical plane and 40 mm above the horizontal plane. Point C in the vertical plane and 40 mm above the horizontal plane. It is very simple. Again, as well, again, always the observer stands here. The observer stands here. See, both are same. So these two red lines are here. Again the point capital C in the vertical plane and above. So in the vertical plane. So on this vertical plane and above the horizontal plane. So this is the horizontal plane and above the horizontal plane. 40 mm. So you just place your point capital C here. What is this height means? This height is, that is the height is just 40 mm. The height is just 40 mm. So in the top view, if you observe the point, this point is small c. And in the front view, if you observe in this direction, the point capital C denoted as C dash. Simple. Here the point is capital C. If you observe the front view in this direction, the C dash will represent here. If you observe the top view, it is represented as here. Represented the point here. So in AutoCAD, you just draw, in AutoCAD or conventional practice, you just draw a point just like this. That's it. This is your point C dash and this is C, and maintain the dimension line. Above horizontal plane it is 40 and vertical plane and horizontal plane. Now open the AutoCAD. Here I am going to draw a point line, just line 40 mm. Okay. So now I am going to use the do net. Enter, select here. If you want to increase the do not size, you will increase it. Okay. Now using the dim linear, give the dimensions and this one, that is okay. So remove this one and copy copy anything here, ed, here it is C dash, always small letters, C dash. Remember, always you will represent with small letters C. Okay. If you want to change your projections or projection lines, see, you want to select these dimensions. You want to select these dimensions in dimension folder. Okay, you can select in the dimension folder. So if you want to select the donuts or a text, you can select in a points like that. So this one and this one are come under points. Next one is the, if there is any other layers are there, dimensional projections. Okay, if you want to change this projection lines, select this one, or directly change in your projections, or you can change in directly give magenta colors. Okay, here this one is also, here you can drag like this, then you will able to see this line completely. Z enter, E enter. Okay, next one, coming to the fourth problem. Okay, 25 mm below horizontal plane and 25 mm behind the vertical plane. Point D, 25 mm below the horizontal plane and 25 mm behind the vertical plane. So that means the point is below horizontal plane, either here or here. Below horizontal plane means this is below horizontal plane, and 25 mm behind the vertical plane. So behind means here, behind. So for that, the point is in third quadrant. So this is the point This is the point capital D. If you observe the front view, always observe stands here. Okay, if you observe, so the front view is here, so that is a small d dash. So always the top view is located here, so this is a small d. Okay, so always the plane is rotated 90 degrees clockwise. As I told you, to see this view, top view, uh, to see this top view on horizontal plane, to rotate, then it will come to this plane will rotate and meet this vertical plane. That means the point D moves to like this here. So for that I am going to draw like this. This point comes to here, that is D, this is O. So if you observe, the in front of the behind the distance is, the point behind the distance is this one. This one is behind 25 mm. In front of distance, this one. This distance is in front of distance is how much it is? 25. Both are same. 25 mm below horizontal plane and 25 mm behind the vertical plane. So the point is in third quadrant. So below 25 mm behind vertical plane. See, observer here. If you observe, this is horizontal plane below. Observe below. This is above. This is behind. This is in front of. Okay. Now if you observe, below, behind, below means here, either here or here, behind means obviously here. So the point here, this is capital D. If you observe the object, the front view is located on this vertical plane, it represented as a D dash. The top view is on represented as a small d. Both are distances same, 25 mm below, 25 mm behind. So I already told you, always plane rotates 90 degrees clockwise. So if it is observer here, the plane will move in this direction. So the D comes to here. So this is your projection. Okay. So I am directly going to draw in AutoCAD. So for this one I am going to draw a line like this, 25 mm above. Again I am going to draw a line 25 mm below. Okay, again going to remove this point, I don't need. Go to do not enter, select sorry, do not enter, select this point and this point. If you want to select these two and go to the points. Okay, now you can give the names. CEO, copy, give the names to this, this and this. So ED, so this is small d, this is O, this is D dash. Again dimensions, go to dimensions, 8 mm. Again here also you can place like this. So this is, and this is, you will change to magenta color, or else suppose if you forget it, MA, enter, select this and to this one. Okay, like this. So if you want to change the layer also, now this dimension will go to the dimension layer. Okay, or you want to enter here, change the dimension yellow color to white color. Click OK. Okay. Next sum. E 15 mm above horizontal plane and behind vertical plane. So for this, the point capital E 15 mm above the horizontal plane and 50 mm behind the vertical plane. Above the HP. So means in this above, either here, either here. Behind VP 50 mm. So obviously here. If you observe two arrows either side, that will be considered as your location of your point. That is the second quadrant. So 15 mm above and 50 mm behind. So behind here, above here. So this is capital E. This point is capital E. Observer again stands here. Observer observes the point E. So the projection is on here. The projection is on here, that is your E dash, and the point is observes from the top view. The point is located on here. This is small e. So if you go to, this is your O. Okay, so I already told you to see this top view on horizontal plane. Every time you rotate plane 90 degrees clockwise direction. What happened? This point E moves to here, E. So if you join this one, you will get projection like this. Similarly, you will do here also 15 mm above. So 15 mm above means draw a horizontal line, suppose, if you understand. So this line is 15 mm above, behind 50 mm. So I am going to draw another line. I am going to draw another line here. This is behind 50 mm. So where these two points are intersecting, that is my capital E. Is just simply E, this is E dash, this is small e. You can remove these unwanted lines, and I already told you, you can rotate this one like this. So this one you can rotate like this. Your point E comes under. So on that, in the examination, you will draw simply X and Y, just draw like this, O, E dash, E. Okay, and you can place the dimension. Okay, 15 and 50, like that. So I am going to explain in the AutoCAD point E. So for this one, I am going to draw a line 50, enter, and again I am going to draw an offset line, or else just draw offset 15, enter, select this line. Okay, so trim here, and before going to that, place do not, then you can place do not. So remove this one. Okay, select this one, MA, enter. Okay, remove this one, select one point, CO, this one, place here and here and here, change ED, this one is O, this one is E dash, this one is E. Now put dimension using the dim linear. Enter. For this one, select this point and select this point, that is 50. You can adjust your dimension like this. Okay, similarly dim linear. Enter. Select this point and select this point. You can place like this. You can adjust your text like this to see this. Okay, and next problem is this okay. Next problem is point F 40 mm below horizontal plane and 25 mm in front of the vertical plane. So below means here, either here, either here. In front of means either here, either here. If two arrowheads meet together, that is your location of your point. So that is capital F is here. So that is 40 mm below. So below 40 mm here. So capital F. What is this distance below? So this one is the below distance. So here you will observe the top view, and here the what is this in front of distance is given, that is 25 mm. So this distance is 25 mm. So you will get like this. Here this point is denoted as f dash and this is f. So this distance is 25 and this distance is 40. That means below distance. So here also you just observe, I am going to use 25 mm in front of means in front of I am going to draw a line like this, just in front of. You observe, this is in front of. Here the observer stands here, here the observer stands here. So this is in front of. How much it is distance? 25. And below, so I am going to draw another line. This is below. What is this one? Below 40 mm. So this is your point. This is your point capital F. If you want to project, this one is your f dash. If you project on by the top view, this is your f dash. If you remove your unwanted lines, you need not these lines. Okay, what next? You will see your front view. So you will see your top view by rotating this plane 90 degrees, horizontal plane, rotating 90 degrees clockwise direction. So what happened? This f will come to here. So what is this distance? I already mentioned. How much? Sorry, here is the distance is there. That is 25. So in AutoCAD or in any conventional drawing practice, what you will do is you will draw a line. This is your line, and this is O, and this point is F, and this point is F dash. So what is this F dash distance? 40. F distance you can place 25. So like that you will draw. So now I am going to open the AutoCAD. Here I am going to draw a line from this point to 40. Enter. Okay, and I am going to draw offset. Enter. 20. Enter. From this line to this line, I am going to trim this one and put here do not. Enter. Enter. Here. Enter. Put do not here one, here one. You can remove your line. Okay, if you want to change to these to the points, if you want to dim linear, enter, select CN of select this one, dim linear, you can place your dimension from this point to this point. Okay, like this you can place your dimension here. Again you can enter this point to this point, you can get your dimension like this. So in the last point, if you observe, okay, copy the text, this one is here, this one and this one, ED, this one is F, here this one is F dash. Okay, this do not point comes to points. So last point, G both HP and vertical plane. So both the planes means you just copy your text. You can copy your text and place here, one for front view, one for top view. So here you can place do not, enter, 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 select here, remove this one, remove this one, select this one and change the layer points, edit this one, G dash G. So this is the way you will draw your diagrams. Match prop, change to this one to layer. Okay, if you want to get, if you want to take the print of this one, for that I am going to explain. The second problem is also very simple. See, a point P is 50 mm from both the reference plane, draw its projections in all the possible positions. So what are the all the possible positions means, all the possible positions is very simple, I already told you. So first point P is in first quadrant, point P is in second quadrant, point P is in third quadrant, point P is in fourth quadrant. So you will do all the possible positions, 50 mm height, 50 mm in front of, 50 mm behind, 50 mm above. So like that you can draw all the possible positions. That is very simple. In front view, P dash P, 50, 50. In second quadrant, here P, here P dash, height 50. In third quadrant, front view below the reference line, top view above the reference line. In fourth quadrant, P and P dash come here. So here the dimension 50. Here it is 50 and 50. So in AutoCAD, how to draw in AutoCAD? You can say take one line. You can take one line, just okay. From this, I am going to draw a line. O offset, give 30 mm, enter, here 30 for second point, third point, fourth point. Okay, you can extend like this, you can remove this one. Okay, you can extend your line 30 mm. Okay, now I am going to locate point, here a point, here one point, here one point, here one point. I am remove these points here. Now I am going to draw O offset 50. Enter. Okay. Move to here. Okay. Again O offset. Enter. Like this. Draw a line from this to 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 this. You can extend your line here. You can remove. You can remove these points also. Use do not enter. Select here, 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 here. Okay. If you want to increase the donut size, okay, so this and this come to points. Next you can copy CO. Here you can copy. Okay. So ED, this one is Y, capital Y. Okay. Next one also you can copy any one text. Okay. Here you can place 1, 2, 3. Here you can place. Okay. Again you will copy here P dash. Here I am going to, okay, ED P dash. Here it is P. Enter. Copy this P, move to here, here, here. Similarly, copy P dash here, here, here. See, here you can move from this point to this third quadrant like this. So these lines and these lines you can place a magenta color for visual representation. You can also copy VPHP CO. Enter. Move here. Set enter, enter. Okay. You can give dimensions. Dim linear as same as our earlier problem. Okay. Go to dimension. You can place like this, 8 mm. Okay. So all are same dimensions. You just show at least 1 or 2 dimensions. Dim linear. You can okay. You can adjust your point whenever it is overlap. Like this, I'll go to insert. Okay. So in this way, you are going to draw your drawing. So you can place your drawing with the number taken. C center C D, diameter 9, text, enter, select 5 mm, enter, 0. So 1 2, yes. So you can justify this one to middle center, middle center. So for that one you can move this one to here, move to center point. Okay, so this is your first problem number 1. So now you can insert into this one to in this template, copy this drawing, control C, control V. So you place like this, Z enter, E enter, go to layout. Here if you observe, clearly visible black gray color points. Okay, if you want to add some more text, what is the location of point A, point B, like this you can write here step by step, point E, point G, like that. Okay, so go to export PDF. Here you can write points 1, go to template point C. In this way you will get your drawing, and now you will take the printout on your A4 sheet and put onto your record. So with this I will stop this session. In next session I will explain when the point is in the shortest distance of the point is in first quadrant and third quadrant, and projections of straight lines. Thank you.